Hello, guys. We are glad you're here for another great episode. And this is Breaking Chains and Taking Names with yours truly, Money Coach Mary, RN, and myself. And we are here to bring you another powerful episode. Now, one thing is Manny was supposed to be, or Sammy was supposed to be here today, and he's not going to be here. So we're going to bring up the live chat and see who's with us live. Mary, how you doing today?
I am doing well. It is freezing here. You can't hear me?
Oh, I can hear you loud and
Okay.
clear.
All right.
You say it's freezing. So, we're going to be talking about today. It's always interesting to think about finances. And in this Breaking Chains, we mainly talk about personal development. Well, what better personal development than our finances? Because that has the number one thing in relationships. That's the number one thing that interferes or helps out in your finances. So,
True. Money affects
uh,
everything.
so what better than to talk about the power within the finances?
Mm. Yeah, because there is power. Once you get your finances organized and you tell your dollars where to go every month, you begin to be able to breathe. And being a nurse, breathing is important in my profession.
I wonder what would happen if I stopped breathing.
You'd fall over. Just saying.
Let's not try that.
Okay. Yeah.
So today, just like we've started doing, if you come into the room, you're more than happy. This is interactive the whole entire time.
Hmm.
So with that being said, please join in the room and chat with us. Let us see you, let us hear you, and let's have a good conversation because this is going to be
Absolutely.
great. Interactive the whole entire time. So I see we started a little bit. We didn't have our timer the full time. We had some technical difficulties as we were trying to build the timer. So as we came in, there was only a few seconds. So I know there wasn't enough time for everybody to load in. As of right now, it looks like we have three people on. Funny thing is, I have learned is my program says there's two people, but it says three because I'm probably one that the program doesn't count. So either way, there's a couple extra people on there. So hop in and
Mhm.
let us know who you are.
If you have a topic you would like to talk about, we would be glad to bring you on the show.
You know, funny thing is last week for the first time, we actually brought somebody from the audience
We
live
did.
onto the set.
Yep.
How cool would it be for you to come in here today and then all of a sudden come in? Now, we're not going to pressure you, we're not going to push you,
Oh,
but
no.
how cool would it be to come on live right here?
Yeah. And talk about whatever you want to talk about.
That's right.
We
But
like to
while
stick to personal development, but we will go. We're both financial coaches. So you've got a money question or you have a topic that you want to talk about, bring it.
Yeah, that's a big key. Um, we have been, I know I've been coaching since 97, but been financial coach since 2020. And I know you've been a financial coach for some time as well.
Hmm.
And I have to say, in all my time coaching, I've had the most fun with finances.
Hmm.
Now, there's three areas it's taboo that you don't talk about: politics, religion, and money.
Hmm.
And guess what? We talk about money.
We talk about money.
And the funny thing is I love messing with taboo. When I first got into financial coaching, it was funny because it's like I'm tiptoeing. How much can I talk about? How much can I not?
Hmm.
You know, are you gonna open up to me? I had that fear factor, like, because this is a taboo. Are they really gonna actually tell me the truth, or are they just gonna fill in some gaps? Make stuff up? Because I know my finances I didn't want to share. Well, I mean, at the time, to be all honest and everything, I was in debt over $300,000. And matter of fact, when I first came in, I had just well, that's not true. I had just financed a brand new car that I
Good.
got out of the showroom. That's how good it was. It was a showroom car. And the showroom cars are the best of the best.
Sure.
And they actually drove it out of the showroom for me. That's how awesome of a car it was. And when I met the person that was helping me out, um, you got too much of a car. I need this. It was a car that drove by itself. And I lived 70 miles away from work. And I was like, I need it so I can get home safely,
Right.
and get to work because I work a lot and I sleep a lot. I don't want to fall asleep on the wheel. So I need a car that can drive by itself. I had all the excuses, right? But I'm in debt over $300,000 and I had just gotten this awesome car. You got too much of a car. Talk about being heartbreak. So I know
Yeah.
what it's like coming up to a person talking about finances. It's like, who are you to tell me what my finances are? Well, over
Yeah.
the years, I have found that we're professionals. People trust professionals.
Hmm.
I won't go and talk to Joe Blow on the street and tell my finances. But
Right.
I want to get my finances corrected. I'm going
Hmm.
to talk to a professional
Right.
because I want to change.
Hmm.
That was unheard of in my mind back then.
Right. Exactly. Well, and David, there is so much that it is so hard to ask for help because of the shame that the person feels like they're going to be judged. And I was just in a meeting today and I was explaining that, you know, I've got no cause to judge anybody, because I was there.
Mhm.
And I've also had people, they joke around, they're like, you're a nurse, but you're a money coach. How does that work? Why should I trust you? Twofold. Nursing is the most trusted profession, and I'm proof that the system works.
Mhm. Yep.
I walked the system.
Yep. Yeah. You speak of that, and it's funny you say that because when I go to the hospital and stuff like that, or you're bearing it all. They
Mhm.
come in, what's this, what's that, what's this? There's no hold bar. You just give it all to them, right?
Mhm.
Oh, you need this, here it is. You're not trying to hide or something like that. Because if Mary came into me and she's like, well, what's your date of birth? It's January 2nd, 12/12. And all of a sudden she's going to kill me because she has the wrong patient, right? She has a
Mhm.
patient that's dead and she's reading a chart and she's not going to give my correct information.
Right.
But, so when Mary comes in, you just like, you bear it all to her and you're going to tell her
Mhm.
anything she wants. She's there to help you, but, you know, yeah, you're right. You don't, when a nurse comes in, you don't even think twice and you just, so what medications are you on? Blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Somebody else asks you, so what meds are you on? Who needs meds?
Right.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, because money is so intimate and is so close to everyone's heart, it affects every part of our lives. But can you imagine? I'll pull up my board, being in control of your finances and how good that's going to feel when you can actually breathe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's the difference between night and day.
You know, and I love the terminology you use, Mary. When we first started off, you said one of the most important things is to breathe.
Mhm.
And you just said now. How awesome would it be for you to breathe?
Mhm.
You know, and it's so key. And I didn't even think about it until you just said that. But when you're in debt, when you have all these things piling down on you,
Mhm.
it is hard to breathe. You're
Yeah.
gasping for
Yeah.
air,
Yeah.
looking for a way to just grab onto something. Can
Mhm.
something hold me up? Can something hold me afloat? Can I get out of this?
Mhm.
The key is when you fall in the hole, it is harder for you to get out. That's why, it's great to have a system that gets you out of the hole. And
Yeah.
once you're out, it keeps you out.
Mhm.
It's easier if you're in a hole to grab somebody's hand or rope that's pulling you out than it is for
Yeah.
you to get out on your own.
Right.
So I love how what you said at the beginning and what you said now with finances. So
Mhm.
nursing and finances, they're like,
Right.
you
Breathing
know,
is important in my profession, and breathing is important in my business.
yep, I like that. And I would never be able to spin it the way you spun it
Mhm.
because you're the RN.
Mhm.
And I'm just a guy that's not an RN.
Mhm.
I see a lot of RNs,
Mhm.
but I'm not an RN. I mess with RNs, and if I mess in the wrong way, that could be the
And
end of
you're
me.
probably one of those.
The one thing about RNs, they are the ones you want to have as your best friends.
Mhm.
You don't want them on your bad side.
Oh.
Um, because what one nurse told me one time, when you're in your dying pain and you need help, would you like somebody to come in with sharp tools to be able to take care of the job quickly? Or find the dullest tool in the shack and come in there and really work hard and make it even more painful? Now, in the eye, it looks like the same exact job, but the
Mhm.
tool that they're using
Mhm.
makes all the difference. Gets rid of the pain or creates more pain,
Yep.
you know? I think I'd rather stay on their good side so that they help me out.
It's my advice.
I don't know for those out there, and I'm going to go off on uh, like I said before, I love to go in taboo. I don't know how many of you out there have had teeth pain. Teeth and
Mhm.
back are one of the two most important, are the worst pains you'll ever have.
Mhm.
Um, and you can have a pain over here, but it has nothing to do with anything on this side. It's over here.
Mhm.
And so, matter of fact, there was one time I love eating popcorn, and popcorn actually, a kernel stuck in there and split the tooth into four, just like went in and kept going and just broke it in
Mhm.
four.
Oh.
Talk about being painful.
Mhm.
Well, I went to a dentist that didn't know what the heck they were doing, and they pulled the wrong tooth.
Oh.
Now, when they're doing it, you don't know anything. Your mouth is open. You
Mhm.
don't have a clue. But after it's done, you're not supposed to feel no more pain. It's supposed to be, problem is gone, right? Problem is still there. And it's like, wait, what's going on? You still feel the problem, you know? Come to find out, they pulled the wrong tooth.
Oh.
Now, I would never use that place again. And matter of fact, I always tell people stay away from them because they don't know what they're doing. And they advertise all the time on TV. They're a very large company. But the one I went to was very poor.
Mhm.
And a lot of times, those big companies, that kind of stuff happens. They don't actually have a real degree. They have what that company calls as a certificate or a credential or whatever they want to do to get you flyby credits.
Probably in the name of less expensive.
Hmm.
Quality suffers.
Hmm. Yep. And that's why one of the things I find is instead of going to those big companies like um, debt management companies, or
Mm.
um, if you owe the government more than $10,000,
Yeah,
give us a
yeah.
call because we can get you out. Instead of going to those large companies that really aren't there for you,
Mhm.
they'll get your debts handled,
Sure.
but they do it in a very wrong way and they don't let you know, and it
Right.
backfires and burns you later.
Hmm.
It's better to deal with those mom and pops, the one that's actually been in the business, the one that's actually been doing it and know what they're doing.
Hmm.
It's like you go to an eye doctor. Do you want to go to LensCrafter or do you want to go to a real optometrist? Did I say that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
optometrist.
I always get those official names wrong sometimes. But it's like LensCrafter, they have supposedly doctors. Um, or you can go to one that actually has real schooling and has actually been to a real college versus just a training school. Um, I don't know about you, but I'd rather the real thing. If I'm paying for it, give it to me,
Right,
right?
right.
Um, so just saying.
Well, it's the same thing with, if you're in debt and you're thinking of bankruptcy or using one of those debt consolidation companies who are going to put you through the ringer and you're going to come out worse off, as David said, this is something you can do yourself.
Mhm.
It's going to take some tenacity and a lot of organization. But if you come to somebody like a coach who can coach you how to do that, you're going to come out better.
Yeah. Now, and I love how you said bankruptcy. Bankruptcy is the worst way to go.
Mm.
However, sometimes you use it as a crutch to get out, to be able to get things taken care of. Matter of fact,
Mhm.
there's one person that I know that is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. He never has to worry ever again. He
Mhm.
filed bankruptcy.
Mhm.
Now, in reality, after he was able to climb out of the hole, he took care of all the debts. He paid it
Right.
off.
Yeah.
So sometimes you do have to do it, but anything that you do in the right way. That is the
Correct.
key.
Correct.
Don't
Yeah.
just
It's
do it
not
because you think you're going to get out of things.
correct. Yeah. There, a lot of people are like, well, I'm not, I'm going to file bankruptcy instead of paying this. But is that right? And then you've got like, oh, I hear a lot of people say, they're going to be lucky if they ever get my student loan payment. You took out that loan. The right thing to do is to pay it back.
Yep. And
A little at a time. I mean, you do what you can.
yep. And you said something kind of cool. I love those student loans. That's one you don't really want to mess with
Yeah,
because the government. You can't file bankruptcy over the government.
right.
You can't escape the government. You
Yeah.
can't hide from the government. So,
Mm-mm.
like, if I'm trying to come after you, Mary, you can hide from me. I have to
Hmm.
figure out where you work. Even if I win in court
Hmm.
and you owe me the money, I have to find where you're working. I have to keep going after you
Right.
and garnish your wages. And then you move, and I have to find the new spot and all this kind of stuff. It can make my life miserable to get the money I am due.
Hmm.
However, the government, they don't have to worry.
Mm-mm.
You submit the stuff to them so that you can
Yeah.
get paid. They don't have to search you out. You're giving them the information.
Right.
You think you're going to hide from the government?
Yeah.
You're telling them every step of the way where you're at.
Exactly. Exactly.
So you can't hide, you can't run, and they
Mm-mm.
can do things that other people can't. Seize accounts, seize
Hmm.
assets. They
Hmm.
can make your life living hell. This is why, as far as financial coaches that we are, one of the things we do is we have a certain way that we do things. However, if it's
Mhm.
federal government, those go on the top of the line.
Top of the list.
They're going to get knocked off first because they're the
Mhm.
most brutal,
Right.
you know. We
And if
want
people think
those.
that they're just going to go away, they're not going away.
Mhm.
They're
And,
not going away.
I've had quite a few clients. I can't even count them on two hands. That's how many clients. Well, I have a student loan, but all I have to do is make the minimum payments because it's going to be forgiven. And I already know I have a 97% chance it won't be forgiven.
Right.
Matter of fact, statistically speaking, only 1% is
Yep.
actually forgiven.
Yep.
Because, yes, you may qualify, yes, everything may be done, but then it has to be approved.
Mhm.
And out of all the people allowed to get forgiveness, only 1% actually gets done.
Yep. I
Now,
was under that.
in a recent year, there was a record-breaking amount of people was approved. 3%. And that was unheard of in history.
Yeah.
3% was approved. Thing is the more they approve, the more money the government has to pay. You think the government just wants to give money freely? They want money in their pocket, not yours. So they
Yeah.
make all these strict rules so hopefully you don't qualify. And then even when you do qualify, something goes wrong that, oh, I'm sorry, you just didn't qualify.
Mhm.
What?
Yep.
You know, it's just better to knock it out and get it out of there. Now, there's tricks and there's things that we do to be able to wipe it out where you don't have to worry. It doesn't come overnight. It's not quick.
Yeah.
It's not a scheme. It takes work, but you're going to knock it out and you're going to feel good.
Yeah. Again, imagine making that last payment and that is gone forever.
Hmm. And speaking of which, one guy actually says very publicly, when you have a paid off house, walk in your yard barefoot and tell me how it feels. Well, I paid off my house, completely paid off. And I went outside barefoot. And I went back to this person and I told him, I said, it hurts. He's like, what? I was like, it hurts. Now, let me give you more of the story. I live out in the country, dirt roads, not paved. So rocks and everything get thrown up. Even though I have a lot of acreage, it was very rocky grass. So I'm a city boy, not used to the country. The
Mhm.
kids around there could run around barefoot and it was fine, even on the rocks. But a city boy, nah, can't do that. So when I went out walking on my grass, it hurt because I'm not used to it. So when I told this to this guy, he just laughed and says, only you, only you. But normally, when you go out on your grass, it just feels different because you actually
Yep.
own it. It's not, oh, well, I'm the owner, but the bank owns it.
Hmm.
I'm the supposedly owner,
Right.
but it can be taken from me. But when you
Yeah.
physically own it, it is yours. That's a whole different feeling.
Right. We were talking about that. We have renters in our one house, and it's family. And we didn't quite have this house paid off. And we were joking around one night saying, not that anything is on the horizon, but if something happens and this house gets taken away, we'll just move in with you guys. They were like, it's our house. You're renting. So
Yeah.
luckily that didn't happen.
Right. It would have been cool if it would have just to see the expression. Actually, I'm the type of person that would have acted like it happened just to see their expression.
Yeah.
But you actually give a valid point because Um, Typically speaking,
Mhm.
you get credit for one residential place.
Mhm.
The government will actually help you to keep your one place.
Right.
So it's hard to get you evicted because they don't want to put you on the street.
Mhm.
But if you have a second, it's now counted a business.
Yep.
And second and on, even if you're ahead on your payments, you're not behind.
Yep.
They can call you notes.
Yep.
And matter of fact, we know a guy that had $3 million worth of property.
Mhm.
He paid off 1 million. He was only in the hole by 2 million.
Mhm.
He was ahead on all his payments. And one day the bank, sold and sold and all this kind of stuff. Long story
Right.
short, a young banker or an old banker was like, why does this young guy owe us so much money? Now, he
Yep.
wasn't in the hole or nothing, but they started
No.
calling his notes.
Mhm.
He couldn't pay it. Now, he was making, 100, $200,000 a year, but he didn't have that kind of money because he was paying to his mortgages.
Right. Yep.
But even though he wasn't behind, they called him on his notes. So they can do that as a business. They
Mhm.
can't do that as a personal.
Right.
So your first house, you're right, can't touch it. Unless you are delinquent because they can evict you.
Right.
But as a business, they don't even have to. Even if you're ahead on your payments, they can kick you out.
Which is
And
terrible.
yeah, I know a business that is a multi-million dollar business. Very busy too. And when 2020 happened, um, the bank was threatening to pull the note. Now they were always in profit, but they did not have the money to pay off this
Mhm.
business because about every 5 years it takes about $10 million to upkeep just to keep the business going.
Yep.
So even though they're always in profit, the business never got to a head of books because as
Mhm.
they get up, then they have to go back in. So they're always
Mhm.
doing this, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the thing is they've never been able to be ahead. So when the banks were starting to threaten to pull the notes, they got worried.
Mhm.
Now they knew that the banks wouldn't be able to, if they did pull the note, they wouldn't be able to make anywhere near the money
Right.
because one, that type of a company would not have been able to, they would not have been able to go into it because they have to have licenses, all that kind of stuff. But um, the banks could have called it at any time, and it was a scary situation. They had to pay more than their notes just to keep the banks happy, just
Yeah.
so that they didn't pull the notes,
Uh,
you know?
yeah.
So, and I'm not going to give exacts or anything like that, but let's just say your monthly payment is $480,000 and you're having to pay $600,000 a month just so they don't call you no. It's scary.
That part is crazy because it's like, wait a minute, I signed a contract.
Hmm.
How can you do this?
Yep.
But they can't.
Yep. Because one thing you have to remember, and this is one thing we teach, small print taketh, big print giveth.
Right.
And they always give you the contract, and they're
Hmm.
right over your shoulders. Come on, sign it, sign it, sign it. Oh, yes, I want you to read it. Read it. Come on, read it, read it, read it.
Yeah. Don't read
And
so fast.
when you have something you're reading, thick contracts, and you're read it, read it, read it. Have you got any questions? Come on, come on. I got things to do. No, they're just
Right.
rushing you so that you don't see everything. So you're skimming,
Hmm.
and when you skim, you only see the big print. You miss all that
Yep.
little stuff. One thing I like to do with contracts is I like to take it with me, study
Hmm.
it first, or if they're rushing me, I look at just the small print. I don't worry about the big print because that's all giving me stuff.
Right.
So I go to all the small print. Oh, wait, I'm having trouble. Let me see. What does this say? I want that small print. I don't like what this
Right.
says here. Let's change this. That's just standard. No, nobody worries about that. That won't actually, it's here. I don't like it, you
Hmm.
know? Don't let nothing pass through.
Right. I recently negotiated uh, a car purchase with my daughter, and I called them on all sorts of stuff. I got the deal I wanted for her
You know what I did one
because,
time? Completely hilarious. I actually took my own contract in there. So they had me fill out this contract and stuff like that. And I was like, and it was funny because it was a copy of a contract, right?
mhm,
So the small print actually was blurry. Couldn't even read the small print.
right.
So I was like, I can't even read this. Here's a standard contract. Why don't we just use this one? And they skimmed it and they were like, okay, we'll use it. It had no small print. Now it did have small print on there, but the
Hmm.
small print was not taking nothing away.
Hmm.
And so after everything was said and done, later on down the road, they tried to use something that's in their contract. That's not in there. Oh, it's in all the contracts. Everybody signs it. He pulled out my contract and he's like, wait a second. Where did this contract come from? Sometimes you have to be smarter um,
Correct.
than they are. And it's doing your research first. And that's what being with a coach does. And matter of fact, Mary, I want to mention something.
Oh,
We're doing something
what you got
coming
there,
up.
David?
We're doing something coming up. Financial breakthrough. We have something special. We've been doing financial coaching for many years. And we have something special that's coming out just for the people here. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. 4 days in March, March 2nd, 9th, 16th, and 23rd. For a simple, about an hour, hour and a half, we're going to be doing a financial breakthrough foundations. This is off of a similar program it's a 9-12 week program that really gets people out of debt. And it has gotten millions of people debt free, hundreds of millions of
Hmm.
people debt free, and it's gotten millions of people to be millionaires just by putting these principles into practice.
Hmm.
Well, we've got a program that's going to get you all of these powerful tools, tricks, all these habit changing things for you. And we got it into 4 sessions. And we are offering this to anybody for free.
Free is good.
Here's the catch. Because everybody's like always, well, what's the catch?
Hmm.
You are more than welcome to come to this for a month, for the 4 weeks, for completely free. If you go one time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, it's your option. Those 4 sessions are completely free for anybody who wants to come. However, how would you like to have it free forever? If you come to all four
That sounds good.
shows, and you're a part of it, because after all, the more people that's a part of it, the better it's going to become. And if you're a part of it, you're at all the 4 shows, it's going to be so great. We are honored that you helped us out, and we will reward you by giving you lifetime access.
Oh, nice.
All you have to do, and the link is in the description below, you go to this wonderful page here, and you'll just fill out this. You want a fresh start because it begins here. Fill out this very simple form, just your name, contact information, your phone number, your email, and reason you want to join. That's all you have to do. Very simple. Not too hard. And we've got some really good people that it's changed their lives for, but it's very
Yep.
simple.
Hmm.
Just go to that link in the description, and it's going to change your destiny. Your life is going to be transformed. After all, you see the money in the top? Stacks of hundreds.
What's it going to feel like to be able to breathe again?
That's right. Just like that picture you see. It's a house with no roof, so you can
Hmm.
breathe. It's the foundation of the house. If you're
Hmm.
setting up a firm foundation,
Yep.
set in stone, one that is unmovable, you're going to change your destiny. And like the nurse
Hmm.
says, breathe again.
Right. And sleep better and improve your relationships, every part of your life.
That's right. So, what is that again? Financial breakthrough is the way to get your foundations.
Hmm.
And it's very simple. The website is very simple. FBS, because it's a special, .financialbreakthrough.icu, and the link is in the description below. So
Sign up,
check it
y'all.
out.
Tell your friends and neighbors.
That's right. Check it out. Join it. Enjoy. And we have capability of 300 people in the room. Now I can tell you there's not going to be 300 people, but I'm just letting you know that come on in
Hmm.
and plan to be there all 4 times. It's only 4 times. And then
Yeah.
you get lifetime access. I don't know about you, Mary, but I was doing I've done several Financial Peace University classes. I
Hmm.
had one client that has gone through Financial Peace University 3 times and has failed 3 times.
Hmm.
Took it a fourth time with me and hired me as a coach as well because they were like, well, we've gone through the course. We can't figure it out. We just need to get this down. Now, some people
Yeah.
can take the course and they change their life right off the bat. Some people need
Yeah.
a coach. Some
Absolutely.
people need to go over it a few times.
Hmm.
So, isn't it nice to have lifetime access? So, I got lifetime access. Hey, Mary, you're a friend of mine. Come watch this with me.
Yeah. Right. That's the way to do that. Have a foundations party every Monday night.
That's right. And it's not too hard to ask 4 times.
Yeah. Yeah. 4 times to positively affect your future and leave a good legacy.
Yep. Yeah, it's funny you say that, Mary, because when I leave here, I want to take all my money with me. Matter of fact, there was this one guy. He's walking along, and all of a sudden, an angel comes down to him and says, "You're going to die in 7 days." He's like, "Why are you telling me? Wait a second. You're telling me this because I can take something to heaven with me." No, we don't allow that. Oh, wait a second. Hold on a second. And the angel disappears. And the angel comes back and says, "I don't understand it. We never allow it for anybody, but Jesus is allowing you to bring one briefcase with you."
Hmm.
So he took 6 days to decide what is the most valuable thing here on this earth. So he figured out gold is the most valuable thing. So he sold everything he had and filled the suitcase up with nothing but gold. He dies, he goes to heaven. And Jesus says, "So what did you bring us?" He opens the briefcase and he says, "Oh, a piece of the road. What we think here is valuable is nothing, so we can't take this with us."
However, that could have been a yellow brick road.
That's right. Dorothy was skipping on that.
Right. Right.
So the thing is we can't take it with us,
Hmm.
and we're not going to be Scrooges. We're not going to. I want it buried with me. We're going to pass it on. Most of the time, it's to our loved ones,
Hmm.
our spouse, or if our spouse not with us no more because we're all up in that age time, and we pass it on to our kids, and our kids pass it on to their kids and their kids. There's this one person I love talking about. He's worth almost $1 billion. He's hundreds of millions of dollars. He has such a large legacy that he can pass on to his kids, and they will get passed on. But his kids all have hundreds of millions of dollars as well.
Hmm.
They don't need his money. So how would it be to have a huge legacy passed on, but they don't need it, so it's passed on and passed on until it is needed? Matter of fact, I know this family that an elderly person, the father, did pass away, and they didn't separate everything out, But
Mhm.
when people needed it, they gave stuff to that person that needed it.
Mm.
How big of a legacy is it that not only are you taken care of, but your family's taken care of
Right.
so that they don't even need it, but it just helps out?
Yeah. The charity, the giving that you can do in that case,
Hmm.
the people that you can serve and the people that you can help and the charities, if it's the puppies at the mill that are always on the commercials, imagine being able to do that,
Yep.
you know.
So,
So yeah, take this foundation, of course, because that's what's going to set you up for
mhm.
your legacy and make it easier to breathe and improve your relationships.
And that's the biggest key right there.
Hmm.
Because we have a short life here. Even if you live to be 200, 300, 500 years, it doesn't matter. It's still
Hmm.
short. Now, in today's lifespan, you're lucky if you make it to 100.
Hmm. Right.
There is people that make it over 100. Matter of fact, recently, I met 4 people
Hmm.
that were over 100 years old. And it
Wow.
was awesome.
Yeah.
But in today's time frame, that's rare. Now, when I was younger, 100 was common. But now, 100 is rare. And 100 years from now, 50 will be rare.
Right.
But the thing is we're getting younger, or we're dying younger and younger because we're not taking care of things.
Hmm.
So how wonderful would it be to take care of things so that instead of living less, we live longer? Because one
Right.
of the funny things is, what's one of the biggest things that kills? Stress.
Stress.
Stress kills. All the crap we got to deal with. And you're telling
Hmm.
me you're not stressed?
Right.
Just saying.
It's true. I know so many people who, like clients, they'll be like, "Yeah, I'm comfortable making these payments." You're comfortable now, but what happens if you lose your job? Oh, my job's stable, right?
For
But
now.
things happen.
Mhm. Yeah. And the thing is jobs are made to keep you in bound.
Hmm.
Um, Back in the day, you worked a place, they provided your place to live, they provided everything for you.
Hmm.
They just took it off of what they paid you.
Hmm.
You were always in the hole. You could never go to another employer until that employer was paid off.
Right.
You were always in hole. You
Yep.
never came above.
Never got to go. Hmm.
So you were stuck to them all the time.
And some
Now,
people now change jobs like they change socks.
now that is different. But now we still live in that kind of a situation.
Hmm.
So I'm working a job making $20 an hour. And I don't like my boss. My boss sucks. And I'm having issues every single day. Every day I go into work, I stress out and I just want to kill myself. I need to find another job. But I can't go because I need to make at least $20 an hour.
Right.
And when you're looking, Murphy's Law, you can't find it. But when you don't need it,
Correct.
it's all over the place. So if you need to find a job $20 or more, good luck finding it.
Right.
But if you don't need it, you got tons of them.
Hmm.
So you're stuck in that job because you need to make $20 an hour. Now, there's a crazy song I love. If you don't have no debt and you don't really need the job, you just work because you enjoy to work. Because I'm the type of person, I'm going to work the rest of my life. When I can't work, I don't need to be here, right? That's, back in the day, we were workhorses. I don't know what
Hmm.
they did nowadays. But anyhow, with that being said, how would it be if you were completely debt free and your boss came in there and was just a prick? You're not locked into that job. And
Right.
there's a country song, take this job and shove it. How would it be to just say, adios, dog, see ya,
Right. Yeah, where are you going? How are your payments?
Yep, you don't have any
That type
payments.
does. Mm-hmm.
That is freedom. That
Mm-hmm.
is freedom, where
That's
you are in
absolutely freedom.
control. You
Mm-hmm.
work because you enjoy to work. I was working one job, and this one guy claimed to be in freedom, where he didn't need the job. Things came up with um, that person and their spouse, and it was shown that no, they do need to work.
Mm.
That they were putting up a front um, because they were actually supporting two people.
Oh,
Now, yes, if they didn't have the other person, they might have been okay, but the other person had also drained them, so they are actually stuck. But it all came out. Everything always comes out in time. Um,
right.
you can't hide it. You can hide it for a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's all going to eventually come out.
Exactly.
And when your dirty laundry comes out, is it going to stink?
Typically.
So the thing is you want to be prepared.
Mm-hmm.
And, after all, be prepared in season and out of season because you don't know when something's going to happen. I
Mm-hmm.
enjoy to
Right.
work. Matter of fact, I have one of the best jobs in the world. Guess what I get to do? Talk.
Mm.
I get paid to talk. So I once had a job and they asked me to do something else. And I told them, I said, some people have the gift of music and some people have the gift of gab. I have the latter. So I'm able to do this job. I'm not able to do that job.
Mm-hmm.
They just laugh, but I literally love to talk. So I have the best job in the world. I get to sit down with people and just talk.
It's most fun. Delving deep and finding their why they want to do what they want to do. That's the most fun. And when you can get them to imagine what their life is going to be like, having those dream meetings, then on a couple of, we'll talk about that. My clients, when we get to that point, we're like, okay, let's dream. What's going to happen?
Mhm.
And at first they're like, they're real surface. I'm like, oh no, 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 no. We're going deeper than that.
Yep.
When you pull the deep out,
Yeah.
it's the light bulb goes on and they get so excited.
Yep. Yeah. Everybody, we know this house we want. We know this car we want. We know these things that we want.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all surface garbage.
Yeah.
We love to give you that hope.
Mm-hmm.
How would it feel if you had the true freedom in here,
Mm-hmm.
down
Mm-hmm.
deep? So when that crap came in, you didn't have to put up with it because you are truly free. See
Right.
you later. I'm out of here. And you can do that because you're free. You're
Mm-hmm.
not bound because you need it.
Correct.
That is the hope you can get. That hope of true freedom.
Mm-hmm.
You can
Absolutely.
have peace even in the midst of the storm. You can have peace
Mm-hmm.
because you know that you're free, through
Mm-hmm.
and through, free.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a
You
great
know,
feeling.
like an ambassador. An ambassador is somebody, for instance, the United States ambassador. They are somebody that represents the United States. They born in, they're, part of the United States. They represent the United States, but they don't live here.
Mm-hmm.
They live in another country, some in Japan. They're all over the world for the United States.
Mm-hmm.
While they're over there, nothing is theirs.
Right.
But when they come back home, all their stuff is here. Matter of fact, all their wages was being saved up for when they come back. When they're over there, they're using the United States money for everything.
Yeah.
The United States pays their house, pays their food, pays everything. And when they come back home, they have everything. Can I say it, Mary? We're like
Go for it.
ambassadors.
Yeah, like ambassadors.
We are over in a place we don't belong, having true freedom, knowing that no matter what happens here, it doesn't
Yep.
matter because where we belong, we're already set. We've already
Hmm.
got everything. Having that true freedom, that true hope that you know that you know that you know that all this doesn't even matter. When my
Right.
boss starts yelling at me, you're not my boss no more. I can easily go somewhere else. Well, you won't find another job like this. I pay you $30 an hour. I don't even need $30 an hour. If I get a job for $2 an hour, I'm happy. The people is more important than the money. Then you're truly free. And when you walk into another employer, I don't even care about the wage. I just want to work. Half the time when the money isn't even the question, you actually get paid more.
Right.
You know, I thought it funny. My last couple jobs, when I went in to get the job, I didn't even ask the wage. And when they told me, I was like, huh? Like one job I was working, I was making 16. Well, let's go back a little bit. I was making $12 an hour. I got another job and they bumped it up to 16. I got another employer wanted to buy me away because I was so good. And as they bought me, I didn't even know how much the wage was. And when I realized how much it was $21 and it was overtime. So I was bringing in over $1,000 a week.
Hmm.
No joke.
Nice.
And that's because I didn't even worry about the money. Then, even when I got the high wage, I didn't even worry about the hours because I enjoyed working. I didn't worry about the hours. I didn't worry about the money. And when I was getting my paychecks, I wasn't even looking at my paychecks. I was just throwing them in the bank. Once
Hmm.
a month, I take them all to the bank and just throw them in. And then when I left the job and realized how much money I had, I was like, what? Because I didn't even need the money from the job because I had other money coming in.
Yeah.
And when I seen how much money I had, I was like, what? It's unreal. And I was looking at each of the paychecks and I was like, how was I making that much money? How? I've never heard of this before in that time frame. I never heard of that kind of money. How was I
Hmm.
making that kind of money?
Right.
And then when I was looking, it was in the overtime. And I didn't even realize I was doing that much overtime
Hmm.
because I enjoyed it. So when you enjoy something, things just go smoother, easier. And then when you look back, it's like,
Correct.
what? How did I do that? Because you enjoyed
Correct.
it. It's true freedom.
That is absolutely true. Right. That's what I tell people, they say when you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life. So apparently I haven't worked for 30 years.
You know? And that's why, like, I don't work no more.
Hmm.
Because I enjoy talking. And that's basically what I do is I talk to people. Actually, to be honest with you, I do more listening than talking. But when I speak, they listen up because they're like, wait, you know? And sometimes I just say those small little words that gets them to click. But all I do is have conversations and transformation happens. I don't force transformation. I don't make transformation. I don't do none of that. It just happens.
Yeah.
I can't tell you
Well,
how many
that's what
people.
we do. We help people realize, and
Mhm.
then their light bulb goes on, and they realize in talking to us that there is hope. They can do this. I had a client, so many clients, but the one was, we were talking, and they said, you know what? Had we not been having these conversations, I would have never thought it was possible to be debt free because it wasn't how I grew up.
Mhm.
Their environment growing up didn't support that.
Yep.
And they are debt free.
Yep.
They are working the program.
Yep. Well,
And then,
you're always going to have a car loan
yeah, no, no, you're not.
because you always have to pay that money and you can never get ahead. So you're always just paying. And when you switch to a new car, you're just going to pay a different person. But you're
Yeah,
always going to have a car loan, right?
no, you won't. Nope.
These are all lies that are told to you. But the trick is,
Correct.
yes, you can always have a car loan.
You
No,
can.
but you can always have a car payment because here's what you
Hmm.
do. Once the car is paid off, you still make a car payment, but you make it to yourself.
Yeah.
Put it in a separate account, call it your car
Hmm.
fund.
Hmm.
And that way, when you're ready to buy another car, you have the money. But the difference is instead of paying interest, you're earning interest. So it's actually building faster and you actually get more money.
Right.
Then you can go
What?
from the first car I get is a floppy. The second car I get is a compact car. The third car I get is going to be a nice car. Fourth car, I get a luxury car. Why? Because the money keeps building,
Because the money keeps building.
you know?
I tell people that all the time. Put your savings in a high yield. There's no reason why you wouldn't.
Hmm.
You know, the point is for it to sit there and be boring. And my thing is, if you're going to sit there and be boring, you can be sit there and be boring and make me some money.
Sure. And found something very interesting. So for most of those people out there, you guys know that I recently moved. I was down in Tennessee, the slow state, the free state, the enjoy life state. Come up to the very busy, high traffic, gotta rush, gotta do this, blah, 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 blah state. Car insurance down there was extremely cheap.
Mm,
Now everybody has to have car insurance. We all know that.
right.
And I thought it was expensive until I came up here.
Mm,
Now, what most people's car payment is, a car insurance is more expensive. Michigan has the largest payments for your car insurance.
ooh,
And it is unmeasurable. The the payment for your insurance is more than your house payment in most cases. That is scary,
that's scary.
you know. So I was like, where did it actually go? Now, there's reasons I did because, in business and everything like that, it's actually cheaper running a business,
Hmm.
you know. But there's a lot of reasons why I moved up here. But the insurance was like, oh, what did I just do?
Right.
So now, with that being said, um, what kind of last words do you have for us, Mary?
I strongly suggest if you know anybody who could use this foundations class, refer them because they're going to do nothing but benefit.
Hmm.
You may be just fine, but there may be somebody in the back of your mind that go, "Ooh, they could use this."
Yep.
Pass this information along.
Yeah. And a light bulb clicked in my head when you said that, Mary. So, hey, Mary, go join that Financial Breakthrough Foundation thing. It'll really help you out.
Nah,
How willing is she? She already said no, right? How willing is she to go? However, hey, Mary, I found this new Financial Breakthrough Foundation thing. I think it's going to be very awesome. I'm going to check it out. Do you want to come with me?
right. So totally
Now,
different.
she's going to come with it, and, you can get her insight.
Yeah.
You can change people's lives
Hmm.
by inviting them to join with you to change their destiny, and you can check it out as well.
Right. It's free.
That's right, it's free. The only thing it will cost you is your time.
Hmm.
Let's go the worst of the worst. We'll say an hour and a half each day, 6 hours a month for the first month, and that's it. And then you get it for
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. Lifetime access.
Can't go wrong there.
Hmm.
6 hours of my
Okay.
time, and I
Yeah.
could possibly change my destiny. I can change whoever's destiny I bring with me. And
Yep.
who knows how many destinies will be changed through this for only 6 hours?
Yep.
I'm in.
A measly 6 hours.
Yep. You spend more than 6 hours on a bad day,
Mhm.
much less in a
Yeah.
whole entire month.
Yeah.
Come on in.
For those of you who work an 8 hour day, it's less than a day.
Yep. And I can tell you're not happy in that 8 hours.
Right.
Because if you're working, you're not happy. Like she said earlier, if you enjoy doing it, you don't actually work.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
definitely make sure you click that link below and join Financial Breakthrough Foundations because it's going to change your destiny.
Yeah.
And when you register, how many people can you bring with you? So, with that being said, we love you guys. We miss Sammy. He will be back on another episode.
Yeah. We'll get him on.
Um, Now, next week, we're going to have another powerful episode.
Mhm.
And this is interactive. So, when you come into the room, be interactive with us.
Right.
Um, it's fun when we're interactive. So, in watching, we seen two, three people here pretty much the whole time. We had seven people in this whole entire episode.
Hmm.
Um, but I didn't see any comments.
Yeah.
Be
I didn't see
active,
anything
y'all.
too.
And like Mary always says,
Just do the dang thing.